Welcome back, Pokemon Trainers. Professor Chaz here. The lab coat's on back order, and it's Wednesday, May 17th. I almost said Monday, because, lo and behold, for the second week in a row this time, it's time for news update video thingy here on the channel. I think this might be telling me maybe I should wait and see, is there anything or enough things newsworthy to mention in a news update video thingy for later in the week? If so, I can do a news update at that point. I like to keep them on Mondays, but a lot of times there's not a lot to mention every Monday. That's why I save it for the following week. But we'll just see how things play out. You know, maybe next week there's not going to be anything to mention on Wednesday either. But it is time for a news update, and as always, I'll be starting off by mentioning I got myself some booster packs here. I've got a Primal Clash, and what do I got? Roaring Skies. So I'm going to be opening up these towards the end of the video and giving you folks a question of the day, try to get the glare off those packs, give you folks a question of the day to participate in and have a chance to win one of these code cards when I do the drawing this coming Sunday, which is the 21st, I believe, of May? I think so. But first things first, before we get into the news, well, there's something else I'm going to get into before I get to the news itself, but before that, we're going to talk about last week's question of the day. Question was, if you could create a new trainer card in Pokemon TCG, what would it be? And we had two winners for the Furious Fist Booster Pack code card and the Phantom Forces code card from last week. And the winner of the Furious Fist is a viewer named PhoneGuy21, who says it would be a supporter card called Lucamine, where you get to search for a card with Beast in the name and an energy. That would be kind of like, I know, was there a Ho-Oh with an ability that could do something like that? Oh, no, I know there's Volcarona from Steam Siege, maybe? That said something like you can choose a basic Pokemon from the discard pile, or maybe in the deck, and attach 2 energy to it, which is kind of decent. But that'd be interesting if Lucamine gets an Ultra Beast into play and throws an energy onto it, because she's all about the Ultra Beast, you know? And the winner of the Phantom Forces code card was a regular viewer named Ice King 688. Says it would have to be a supporter card called Your Boy Guzma. And the effect would be your opponent discards their entire hand and then draws 3 cards. That'd be a lot of power, and I can see Guzma being disruptive to the opponent like that. I noticed that they're pretty, you know, careful about having the opponent discard too much, because like if the opponent has a nice hand of like 15 cards, that would be devastating if they get rid of the entire hand. It could be something like maybe discard, well, how was it? Getsus, I think, from one of the black and white sets, says the opponent reveals their hand. They don't lose any cards, but they shuffle all the items back in, and then you, the player of the Getsus card, you draw that many cards that they shuffled back in. That was kind of something cool. Guzma sounds like it could be similar if they had a card like that. But congratulations to PhoneGuy21 and Ice King 688 for winning the Furious Fist and Phantom Forces code cards respectively. Now, before we get to the rest of the news, and I alter to get the nice images up, I'm going to show you something. This past weekend, I was cleaning through my back shed in the house, and you ever do something like this, like spring cleaning? You're going through some old boxes, and you find ancient relics, buried treasure that you completely forgot you had. For one thing, I found my old Tiger Electronics R-Zone. I shared that on Twitter. Anyway, the things I want to showcase, first of all, I mentioned in Pokemon Yellow this past, I think just yesterday, I have the Pokemon TCG Starter Gift Box from the very first set of Pokemon TCG. Let me just pop this open briefly and show you exactly what we're working with here. First of all, the playmat is considerably different. I don't know how well you can see this or not, but I'll try to open this up and demonstrate it. Because this is back when we had just, you know, the first generation of Pokemon. The artwork looks pretty different here. It's still very cool, of course, right? It's got Aerodactyl, Meowth, Pikachu, and Zapdos. The playmat looks so different compared to what we have now. And the backside, I don't even know what it really shows on the backside. But anyway, I'm just kind of rambling. I didn't even take this coin out. I've got myself a nice plastic Eevee coin. You can't even see that because of the glare. There we go. A foil Eevee coin. And I don't know if this came with it. I don't think it did, but I have a Power Power Reserve theme deck featuring grass types and looks like Kangaskhan in there. But this is the piece right here. This is the 2-player starter set. So this is kind of what we have in, I think, what are they, battle decks nowadays? Where you have 2 30-card decks pre-made, and you can play them against each other. Let me just divide these up here. So these are the 2, can't really see them that well, but these are the 2 starting decks. Let's just take a quick look at the cards, because these are mint condition-ish, kind of. I'm sure I played with them when I was younger, but... So we've got your trainer cards, got some colorless Pokemon in here. This looks like a fighting deck. I think it was a fighting and a fire deck. Alright, so that's all we have for Pokemon and Trainers. The rest of this is just energy. Look how much energy they give you in these starting decks. I'm going to count these up, because this is kind of crazy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 cards out of your 30 cards in the theme deck are energy cards. I guess that's kind of true for what they do nowadays too, because you get a 60 card theme deck and you have usually about 20 energy, which isn't quite half, but it's pretty close. And looks like the other deck here, did I get things mixed up? I think I did. Anyway, the other deck here we've got, looks like fire energy, of course. And the Pokemon are looking like, I think there's Charmander, there's Ponyta, Charmander, do we see Charmeleon? We do see Charmeleon, and Growlithe. So, it's kind of cool to see these older cards, and recently the X and Y Evolutions pack, or expansion, did give you some of these cards with sort of re-released, updated text. The art was the same, but if I want to, I could play these in an unlimited format kind of competition and get blown away because the power behind the attacks nowadays just completely obliterates what came in the first few sets of Pokemon TCG. Alright, in addition to that though, I found something else that... Does anyone out there watch the Jay Witz channel? And he recently had started talking about some board games, aka Pokemon board games. I found the ancientest relic of them all in the Pokemon Master Trainer board game. Now, this is a game, if you didn't watch the Jay Witz's review, which can be kind of frustrating, but it's fun at the same time. Like, there's certain things where you're going around the board, catching Pokemon. In fact, you know what? I'm going to spin this around and show you. I'm probably mixing up everything in the box, but you can see it's got the map of Kanto. You go around from place to place. Where are we at here? You start off, of course, in Pallet Town, make your way through, and every one of these chips on the board is a Pokemon, and as you land near it, you have a chance to capture it. If you can get an entire evolutionary line, such as Bulbasaur, Ivysaur, and Venusaur, you can get a power boost for the fully evolved form. The game is, of course, you go around catching Pokemon, battling trainers. The goal is to go to the Elite Four and win the overall competition there, although Gary and his Arcanine are nearly unbeatable without a fully evolved Pokemon on your side. But of course, along the way, you've got things like cards and events that change things up. You could have a card or an event that says, trade Pokemon with another player. You could have a Magikarp, they could have, for example, a Charizard. You could just simply take that away, and if it completes an evolutionary line, you get more power. And as Jay Witz pointed out in his review, there's the ever-lovable Time Machine card. Can be played at any time anyone rolls the die, and you can simply say, re-roll that. So if the opponent's trying to catch a Mewtwo, I rolled a 6, I got it! One player throws a Time Machine out there, you get a re-roll, get a 1, Mewtwo escapes. So there's all that fun. Now I'm going to pose a question to you folks out there, not the question of the day for this video, but would anyone out there be interested in seeing me and some people do a playthrough of the Master Trainer board game? Because it would be kind of fun to do. It could be a very long video, because this game can take sometimes several hours. I don't know if we want to do it for that long. We could at least show off maybe a half hour to an hour's worth of footage and just show you what the game is like. So if you're interested in something like that, leave me a comment down below and let me know. With all that out of the way, let us now continue on to the actual current news in the world of Pokemon. The first thing I'm going to mention is something kind of big coming up, and I'm going to preface this with the fact that quite often I don't get Pokemon Go news and information on time to report on it, because for the longest time I've been looking at the wrong spot for news updates. I was going to PokemonGo.com, I believe it is, and that's just your basic information. Because apparently if you go to PokemonGoLive.com, that's where they have the updates posted. And now, thanks to that, I can talk about Adventure Week. Wait a minute. I gotta move to the side. There we are. So we can talk about Adventure Week in Pokemon Go, celebrating that every player collectively in Pokemon Go has currently, I think as of December last year they said, we have walked the distance from Earth to Pluto and beyond. That's quite a lot of walking. I myself probably haven't even made it to the moon yet, but everyone playing this, if we were all, like, you know, all of our paths lined up end to end basically, we've passed Pluto, everybody. That's a lot of walking. So, to celebrate this, on May 18th, starting at 1 o'clock Pacific Time, PM, going until May 25th, so we have a week of this, more Rock-type Pokemon are going to be appearing in the wild, and they mention things such as, oh, I don't know, Almanite, Kabuto, Aerodactyl, perhaps. Could see some of the fossil Pokemon. Of course, there are Onix, Geodude, and Rhyhorn from Gen 1. And I was trying to think what other Pokemon could be appearing. And I forgot Gen 2 has added some rock types such as Sudowoodo, and Shuckle, and Magcargo. Am I forgetting Larvitar? chances are we might see a wild Tyranitar somewhere as well. That could be a thing. So anyway, for this week's event, rock types are going to be more common. In addition to this, you're going to be able to get a new Explorer hat in the shop, basically, in your trainer style. I don't think it's going to cost any money, because like when they had the Magikarp hat, it was free, so I would hope this Explorer hat is free as well. In the shop for this week, Pokeballs are going to be 50% off, so you can save half your coins, or buy twice as many Pokeballs as you normally would, thanks to this special event. But perhaps one of the most important things to take note of is the fact that during this event, your buddy Pokemon is going to be getting candy 4 times as quickly as they have been before. That's right, I'm walking my Dragonair right now, Slayer, and she is 7 candies away from being able to evolve. Normally it's 5 kilometers per candy, but essentially every 5 kilometers now I'll be getting 4 candies. So within 10 kilometers, I'm going to have enough candy to become, or to evolve her into a Dragonite. I'm going to become a Dragonite trainer. Very cool stuff. I'm sure her CP will not be anything comparable to the Dragonite that I see around here, but it's still something. So that is starting on May 18th, going till May 25th, starting and ending at 1 o'clock p.m. Pacific time. So mark your calendars, set your alarms, all that stuff. That's a good time to get out and start walking some more Pokemon and catching more rock types and getting more candy for stuff that you might need. So, in the world of the video game, there's a few things to mention for this here. A new update is ready for Pokemon Sun and Pokemon Moon, downloadable from the eShop on your Nintendo 3DS. It's going to be updating and fixing some glitches, apparently, which I haven't encountered any of these glitches, fortunately. Some of them sound pretty, maybe not devastating, but pretty annoying. So, it's fixing glitches such as Pokemon being unable to attack and switch when Skydrop is used, and when knocked out by damage done by Spiky Shield. I'm not sure what that means, because I've been hit by Skydrop a few times, and I guess I never really tried to attack or switch. I wonder if you're slower than the target, or sorry, if someone uses Skydrop on you and takes you to the air, if you're slower, were you supposed to have been able to attack after being dropped down? I just assumed that Skydrop locks you into place, you can't do anything until after the turn kicks in where you're on the ground again. So maybe you're supposed to be able to attack after being Skydrop. As for the getting knocked out by Spiky Shield, I don't know what happened there. That sounds like a pretty bad glitch where, for some reason, you just can't send another Pokemon. Anyway, another glitch in Pokepelago, which happens when entering a new month. It doesn't say what glitch it is, just it's a glitch. A rare case where the game ends after using an evolution item as the last item in your bag. Again, I've never experienced that. I've got so many other items in the bag. I wonder if you would sell every other item except evolution items. I could see how that could be a problem, but usually you're going to hang on to things, like Mega Stones and stuff. You're not going to get rid of those. Scatterbug, sometimes not learning egg moves, which does sound kind of unfortunate if you're trying to breed up for a cool Vivian kind of Pokemon. Eggs sometimes being able to be given items. That does sound like a glitch. Doesn't really make a lot of sense. And a glitch ending the tournament when pre-registered for an online friendly competition, such as your entry gets cancelled or the battle team gets unlocked. And I haven't done any friendly competitions either, so as I say personally, these haven't affected me. If you've been experiencing things like this, though, you can update through the Nintendo eShop to Pokemon Sun, Pokemon Moon 1.2 version. And the downside, they say, battle videos that have been saved prior to the update will not be able to be viewed or shared any longer. So I've had a lot of cool battle videos that I saved and I just updated last night. I can't see them anymore. I guess I can just clear them up to clear some space on my SD card, though. Now, moving on to the rest of the news, we've got another quartet of Mega Stones now available. 2 of them being the Pidgeotite and the Steelixite, which were given out in the recent... Which competition was it? Was that just the International Challenge for April? No, it wasn't, because that's the Hoenn starters. I forget which event it was, but the Pidgeotite and Steelixite that were given out are now available for everybody, as well as Houndoomite and Heracronite. So Houndoom and Heracross can Mega Evolve as well. All you gotta do is go to Mystery Gift on your main menu, select Receive Gift, choose via code or password, and then of course connect to the internet. Enter the password, which is AZUL, or AZUL if you're in Canada. So Azul, that's your password. It says watch as you receive the Mega Stones. You'll see this nice package come down, and it is yours to keep. Then log into your game, go to the Pokemon Center, whichever one nearby is, whichever happens to be nearby you. Talk to the delivery man. He'll give you these Mega Stones. Then, step out of the center to be safe, save your game. That way you're going to make sure you do not lose these Mega Stones after you've downloaded them. And then from that point on, you can Mega Evolve any of these Pokemon in your battles that you like. And that is all I mentioned for that, so we can see some more Mega Evolutions in the world of Pokemon. Now then, sign-ups have begun for the International Challenge for May, and from this one, the special what is the Megastones? Tyranitarite, Abomasnoite, or Abomasite, I guess, and Manectite. So Manectric can Mega Evolve, which I want to get my hands on. Scruff the Manectric must become Mega once again. Snarl, Intimidate, perfect combo, lower both the opponent's attack stats. Anyway, that's just me rambling about my own strategy. So, signups are now available. You go to PokemonGlobalLink.com, log into your account, and choose to register and sign up for this online competition, the International Challenge for May, and give you instructions on how to download the digital player ID in your video game, Sun or Moon. You don't need to have a team arranged just yet, which is good because I probably won't till later on in the week, but I am now registered. I am available to do the battling, and I think we have a week to register for this one. I don't think it's until next weekend that the battles begin. So, stay tuned for that. But I'll be doing some recordings, of course, to see how well we do. I know I've said I'm considering using Tapu Bulu as one of my Pokemon on the team, the Tapu of my team for this one. Because the last International Challenge taught me, and I'm sure it taught a lot of other people out there, Garchomp are everywhere. So I'm thinking, if I bring Tapu Bulu, it'll be immune to dragon attacks. Also, the grassy terrain that we set up with the Grassy Surge is going to weaken the power of Earthquake, and I think, what is it, Magnitude and Bulldoze? So, we're going to be lessening some ground-type damage from, of course, the Garchomp. I almost said Dragonite. It's going to weaken some power from Dragonite, too, if it goes for any ground attacks. But, anyway, that's just what I'm saying. And as far as the Ultra Beast, which I'll bring, I haven't decided on that just yet, but I'll think of something. Now, as for the last piece of news to mention, the Harvest Pokebeans Global Mission in the Festival Plaza has been successfully completed. I think it said the goal was to try to harvest 3 million Pokebeans during the competition process, or the mission process. We harvested 75 million. So I'd say we beat that whole score they were going for. Now, you can also, of course, log in to, if you participated, I think this is, you can log into the Festival Plaza, talk to the receptionist inside the castle. She's on your right side, and she'll give you 2,000 festival coins for completing the mission. But if you're registered to a Pokemon Global Link account, you'll get 4,000, so double the festival coins. Not only that, if you contributed 30 Pokebeans into this mission, you get 5 rare candies as well. And, in addition, if you have, what was it? Yeah, since we completed the bonus mission, which I think was like 6 million beans or something, a level ball is also being given out. So much like the Mega Stones, if you go to your account on Pokemon Global Link and find out how to, it should be one of the news things, find out how to get your code for getting the level ball and the rare candies, I believe. Same kind of thing. You get the code, go to Mystery Gift on the main screen, enter your code via, code password, talk to the man in the Pokemon Center. In fact, do both of these at once. I think you get the Mega Stones and the level ball and such. And you get these, and then save your game. So you got another level ball. I've got 2 of them right now in game. I don't know if I want to use it on anybody. I like the rarity of keeping these collected. But nowadays, male Pokemon, when breeding, can pass down their Pokeballs to the offspring, which is kind of cool. That's how I'm hatching a bunch of Cyndaquil in Beast Balls. I got a Beast Ball Cyndaquil through the Wonder Trade one day, maybe the global GTS Global Trade Station. Either way, I've got Beast Ball Cyndaquil with some cool egg moves and hidden abilities too, which is awesome. But I think that is all there is to mention for the news, so back we go. Now it's time for the question of the day, because I'm about to open up these 2 booster packs, of course. We got the Primal Clash and Roaring Skies. Question of the day for your chance to win one of these code cards is in relation to the Pokemon Master Trainer board game. So, since it's a board game, I figure let's do this as a nice, simple, nice generic question out there for everybody. On May 21st, I'll be doing the drawing for the question of, what is your favorite board game? If you play board games, of course, you probably have a favorite. If you don't play board games, I guess, I don't know, just throw out the name of any board game that you know of. Even just say Pokemon Master Trainer. Just make sure you use hashtag QOTD in your comment so that I do a search on the comments on the coming Sunday, which will be May 21st, and select winners based off of the hashtag QOTD, as well as answering that question. As for me, I'd say probably my all-time favorite board game, it's a tough question. I really like games like, has anyone out there ever played this game called The Grape Escape? It's a game where you play as grapes in a wine factory, and the characters, like the pieces, are made of Play-Doh, actually. You have little shapers that you put the Play-Doh in, and you make a grape character. So it's the kind of thing where you roll the die, you run around the board, as you're running around, there's like a plastic juicing, wine machine in the middle, where certain spaces on the board are danger spaces. And if somebody rolls a number, or I forget what it is, lands on a certain space to activate the machine, the person winds a crank, which makes all the different mechanics of the machine go. So if you're standing, for example, in a pair of scissors, these plastic scissors come in and they actually cut your grape character in half, and you lose that character. There's another one where a big boot comes out and just, squishes your character into nothing. And there's a rolling pin that just kind of flattens them out. So I like that game where your figure actually, this sounds kind of cruel, but gets completely disfigured and horribly destroyed. But then you just remake them again in your mold maker thingy with your Play-Doh, and you're good to go. Reminds me of another game I had called Splat. Same kind of idea. You would make a Play-Doh bug character and move around the board, and at certain points a character could land on a splat space or draw a splat card or something, and they would have to take this big plastic hand and splat every Play-Doh bug that was on the right colored space. So if you lose that character, you just got to make a new one and start over. It's almost like Sorry in a way, where you got to get a certain number of your characters to the end of the game and then you win. So I like games that destroy the pieces, I suppose. And other than that, I don't think of any other board games catch my eye or stick out in my mind. Nothing that comes to mind, and I don't want to waste too much time just trying to think about that stuff, but I'll leave it up to you guys out there to answer that question. What is your favorite board game? You have a chance to win one of these code cards I'm about to pull out of these packs right now, starting with the Primal Clash. I'm always careful about cutting the tops off, because what if one of the cards is sticking up too high? I don't want to slice the card. So let's see. Good, it's not facing the wrong way. This goes to the side until we do the drawing on Sunday. As for these cards, let's do this pack trick and see what cards I get out of Primal Clash. Starting with the commons, of course, with a Hippopotas, or Hippopotas. I'm not sure how you pronounce that exactly. We got Hone Edge. So we get the glare off of these. With Sfeel, we've got a Vulpix, on a Alolan, of course, and we have a Trapinch. Uncommon cards begin with an Ancient Trait with Alpha Recovery Tentacool. What if the Ancient Traits will ever make a comeback at some point? I love Dive Balls! These are awesome! Sweet, this whole pack is worth it now. I've got a Whiscash. Reverse foil card is Archie's Ace in the Hole. And the rare card is going to be... not too bad! Mega Gardevoir EX. Interesting, I was reading something on the Pokemon Facebook page where they were saying how it's Fairy type week, actually, which kind of makes sense. And they were asking, have you gotten any Fairy types out of your packs? One person commented saying, I would like it if you would stop putting so many Fairy cards in your packs, because I've pulled so many Gardevoir EX and Sylveon EX. I've got 5 of one, 4 of the other. And basically this person just griping over the fact that they've been pulling so many Pokemon EX. It's like, what a shame that must be. What a burden to get that many Pokemon EX when some people don't often get any of them. You feel bad for people sometimes, don't you? But of course, they could just trade those EXs for something else that they're looking for. But that's not a bad card to have gotten. Now, on to Roaring Skies. Make sure the cards are pushed down to the bottom as I slice the top off here. Do you think we're going to get... Alright, I've never pulled the Fable Shaman EX just yet. Do you think we're going to get one today? Get this code card off to the side until you guys have a chance to win that. Of course, you have a chance to win a Shaman EX in the online game with that code card. Alright, let's hope for the best. Let's expect the worst. Actually, that sounds pretty defeatist. Let's not do that. Let's just go ahead and draw the cards. We've got ourselves a Bagon. Next is an Execute. We have Fletchling. Just going back for a second. It's going to be cool when they add a Alolan Executor into the TCG, because Execute will be able to evolve into either version. So this grass type could become a dragon type in the card game, which is kind of cool, because of course there is no Alolan Execute. Alright, next common is... can't even see that. Pikachu. And lastly, we have a Pidove. Uncommon cards begin with a Revive. We have a Pelipper. Last uncommon is a Togetic. Reverse foil is going to be a Dragonair. Not quite as good as the one from Sun and Moon, I would say, because that one lets you attach as much energy per turn, as much energy as you like on the following turn using Dragon's Wish attack, which I really like. Rare card is going to be Shedinja, so no Shaman EX, but Shedinja with the right items attached to it, or the right abilities in play, can be pretty powerful. I did a deck on this one time, using Floette, I think it was, that adds 20 HP to your grass types. With 4 Floette on the bench, you could have plus 80 HP on Shedinja. Now, the attack of Hopeless Scream for 1 colorless. This attack does 50 damage times the number of damage counters on this Pokemon. So, generally, without any other abilities and stuff, you would only have 2 damage counters before getting knocked out. It's only got 30 HP. You could do 100. But imagine if it had 110 HP, and you had a good number of damage counters. Like even, what would it be? 6 damage counters on it, you'd be doing 300 damage back. That's not bad if you can get the right strategy in play. Of course, downside if someone plays the Hex Maniac, then you would lose the extra HP and this thing would get knocked out if it has 3 or more damage counters, but barring that, it's a pretty interesting idea. But that's what I got out of my booster packs. Again, for your chance to win either of the 2 code cards that I just pulled, answer that question of the day, and on May 21st, this coming Sunday, I'll draw 2 names using the hashtag QOTD in your comments somewhere to win one of those code cards. And the question again is, what is your favorite board game? Just leave that down below in the comments. And again, let me know, would you like to see me get some people together and play Master Trainer sometime as sort of like a little side content on the channel? Just like maybe a half hour to an hour or so worth of gameplay. Who knows, we might be able to beat it quicker than that too. Probably not. But that is it. Now I will point out, I did say, I think in yesterday's Yellow episode, that I was hoping to get the news update and a TCG video out today. Turns out I completely forgot. I have something else going on tonight, which I'll mention in, I'll mention at some point later. It's like a little bit of a surprise, if I can actually say the words. So we'll keep it on the down low for the time being, but I'll mention it as soon as it's all said and done. And that being said, I don't have time to do the video for TCG today, but I'll see if I can get it out tomorrow on Thursday. And we'll hope for the best there. But with that, we are now done. So I want to say thanks for watching today's news update video thingy. Hopefully I taught you some new things in the world of Pokemon you might not have already been aware of, and helped you find out how to get like these new Mega Stones, your Harvest Pokebeans reward. We still haven't been told how to get our Mega Stones for the International Challenge April. I want that, I almost said Sceptile. I want that Swamperdite. I need Skippy to Mega Evolve and get Swift Swim. I really would have liked if he had Sap Sipper for the secret ability for Megas, but that would be too much power. Anyway, all that being said, again, thanks for watching. If you want to see some more content here on the Professor Chaz channel, there'll be some links during the outro to some other videos I've done, as well as a link to subscribe to the channel for usually daily Pokemon content, such as these weekly, sometimes bi-weekly news update video thingies. We've got Pokemon Yellow Randomized Nuzlocke, Pokemon TCG, as time permits. And coming up soon, we'll have some Pokemon Sun and Moon Wi-Fi battling as the International Challenge for May kicks off towards the end of the month. So stay tuned for all that. But until then, we are done. Professor Chaz is now signing off. And as always, I'll catch you next time.